Have you ever wondered about the darker side of Hollywood, especially concerning child actors? In today's video, we delve into the controversial journey of young stars and how the industry has shaped their lives, often leading them into perilous situations. From tales of exploitation to the blurred lines of innocence, this is not just a story. It's a wake-up call, a crucial eye-opener. The allure of childhood innocence, often exploited for cinematic gain, becomes a central theme in our exploration. Movies like 13 and Sleepover capture the journey of adolescent girls caught in a rush to grow up, presenting a sanitized version of teenage struggles. But what happens when those struggles become reality? These films tackle themes of identity and self-discovery through provocative narratives that frequently overlook the consequences. The intriguing duality of 13 and Sleepover becomes evident as we examine their stories, which may appear lighthearted on the surface, but upon closer inspection, reveal a disturbing narrative. It's about peer pressure, rebellion, and what it means to be a girl in today's society. We'll explore the deeply ingrained societal views on childhood and how these narratives reflect not just personal tales, but also a broader cultural commentary. As we journey through the lives of these young stars, we'll uncover the realities they face and the lurking dangers in the glamorous facade of Hollywood, and we will assert the importance of acknowledging these issues, urging audiences to think critically about what they consume. The innocent facade of childhood in film. In the realm of cinema, childhood innocence often takes center stage, providing a captivating backdrop for storytelling. However, this depiction can be misleading, as it sometimes masks a darker reality. Films that portray youthful joy and lighthearted adventures frequently gloss over the complexities of growing up. Characters who seem carefree are often burdened by societal expectations and pressures, navigating turbulent waters that threaten their innocence. This juxtaposition creates an illusion, one that can be dangerously appealing, as audiences romanticize the simplicity of childhood. Many films depict young characters in a rush to grow up, mirroring societal perceptions of maturity and autonomy. These narratives tend to highlight adventurous escapades, while the emotional weight of adolescence remains hidden beneath the surface. It's essential to recognize that while these films may showcase a charming, nostalgic view of childhood, they often fail to address the real challenges that children face. Events unfold against a backdrop that trivializes their struggles. The industry has long relied on the archetype of the innocent child, using it to evoke sympathy and drive narratives, but in doing so, it risks distorting the understanding of what it means to be a child in today's world. The consequence is a skewed representation of childhood, one that prioritizes entertainment value over authenticity. As we consume these stories, we must remain vigilant, ensuring that we do not overlook the genuine issues at stake. The journey of young actors and the characters they portray should remind us of the responsibility to engage with these complex portrayals thoughtfully. The duality of 13 and Sleepover. At first glance, 13 and Sleepover seem like contrasting films, each exploring the tumultuous journey of adolescence from different perspectives. While Sleepover presents a lighthearted, comedic take on teenage escapades, 13 dives deep into the darker realities of growing up, capturing the essence of rebellion and self-discovery. Both films center around a group of young girls navigating their identities, but their approaches highlight starkly different themes. In Sleepover, we see the characters embark on a whimsical adventure filled with friendship, laughter, and crushes. The tone, saturated with bright colors and playful music, often wraps their struggles in a sugar-coated package. Conversely, 13 paints a more somber and realistic picture, tackling serious issues like peer pressure, self-harm, and the pressures of fitting in. The film's gritty narrative forces viewers to confront uncomfortable truths about teenage life. Both films utilize the mother-daughter dynamic as a focal point, showcasing how these relationships can be both supportive and contentious. However, Sleepover tends to downplay the complexities, presenting a more idealized version of life, while 13 presents a raw and unfiltered exploration of adolescence. This juxtaposition not only highlights the duality in how society perceives young girls, but also compels viewers to reflect on the broader implications of these narratives. It's a poignant reminder that while youth is filled with potential, it can also be overshadowed by societal expectations and the harsh realities of growing up. Navigating Hollywood, the pressure on child actors. The transition from childhood to stardom can be a double-edged sword for young actors, thrusting them into the relentless spotlight of Hollywood. Child stars often face unique pressures as they grapple with an industry that prioritizes appearance over talent. Auditions become a battleground, where young performers are judged not solely on their skills, but on their looks, influencing their self-perception and leading to lasting insecurities. Underneath the glamour lies a daunting reality. The quest for acceptance can lead to an unhealthy obsession with body image, as young actors strive to conform to the glossy ideals presented in media. In many cases, these pressures create an environment ripe for exploitation, where their innocence is not only challenged but often disregarded. Famous child actors, like Drew Barrymore and Macaulay Culkin, have shared their experiences, shedding light on the emotional toll taken by early fame. The lack of guidance from guardians and industry professionals can leave young stars vulnerable, making them easy targets for negative influences. Moreover, the portrayal of youth in film can distort societal views, leading audiences to misunderstand the real-life challenges these children experience. As these young talents strive to navigate their careers, the weight of fame, coupled with the expectations of Hollywood, can lead to tragic consequences, emphasizing the need for increased awareness and protective measures. Ultimately, the journey of child actors is a poignant reminder that success in the entertainment industry should never come at the cost of their childhood or mental health. The hidden cost, real-life consequences. Becoming a child star can seem like a dream come true. However, the reality is far more complex, often hiding a darker truth. Many young actors face severe emotional and psychological challenges stemming from the pressures of fame, unrealistic expectations, and exploitation. The journey often begins with a bright spotlight, but behind the scenes, these stars may struggle with anxiety, depression, and even identity crises. The portrayal of childhood innocence in Hollywood can be misleading, as many young actors find themselves pushed into adult situations before they are ready. This often leads to a distorted sense of self-worth, where their value is tied to their appearance rather than their talent or capabilities. For instance, Evan Rachel Wood and Nikki Reed are among those who have publicly discussed their experiences. They reveal the toll that early fame took on their mental health, exposing a pattern of exploitation that is pervasive in the industry. Viewers may be drawn to the glitz and glamour of child stardom, but the truth is much grimmer. The pressure to maintain a certain image can lead to unhealthy coping mechanisms, such as substance abuse or self-harm. Moreover, young stars frequently face scrutiny from the public and the media, contributing to feelings of shame and vulnerability. They are often held accountable for behaviors or choices that adults would not be criticized for, further complicating their ability to navigate both personal and professional lives. This dichotomy between public persona and private reality can lead to isolation and confusion, as the line between who they are and who they are expected to be blurs. The hidden cost of fame can be devastating. Young actors, who once dreamed of stardom, often pay an emotional price that can linger well into adulthood. Exploitation in the spotlight. The entertainment industry has a long and troubled history of exploiting young talent, often blurring the lines between art and exploitation. Child actors, while thrust into the limelight, frequently face intense pressure to conform to adult expectations, leading to emotional turmoil and identity crises. The rampant sexualization of child stars like Evan Rachel Wood and Nikki Reed invites scrutiny, as it raises serious questions about consent and agency. Despite their tender ages, these young actresses are often pigeonholed into roles that emphasize their appearance over their talent, ultimately reducing them to mere commodities. The case of Brooke Shields serves as a cautionary tale. She found herself embroiled in controversy for taking on provocative roles, which led to public scrutiny and a lasting stigma. The narrative suggests that the industry fails to protect its youngest members, often placing financial gain above the well-being of child actors. This commodification of youth, while masked as a celebration of talent, can have devastating effects on a personal level. Young stars like Shields, Wood, and Reed often endure the emotional aftermath of their roles long after the cameras stop rolling. They struggle with their identities, as societal pressures can morph the perception of innocence into a tainted image. The conversation surrounding exploitation in Hollywood is critical, especially as it challenges audiences to reconsider their role in the cycle of consumption. How we perceive and discuss the narratives of these young stars can determine the path for future generations of actors. As we reflect on their experiences, it's essential to recognize the systemic issues within the industry that perpetuate this cycle of exploitation, calling for greater accountability and ethical standards. Artifacts of innocence. The impact of iconic roles. In the realm of film, iconic roles can define not only a narrative, but also the lives of the actors involved. Child stars like Brooke Shields, Evan Rachel Wood, and Nikki Reed found themselves at the forefront of this phenomenon, navigating the complexities of fame while grappling with the weight of their roles. Perhaps one of the most significant aspects of these performances is how they challenge or reinforce societal perceptions about innocence. Take, for instance, Shields' role in Pretty Baby, where she portrayed a young girl raised in a brothel. This role sparked intense controversy, igniting debates about the sexualization of children in media. Many viewers saw her character as a symbol of lost innocence, while others criticized the film for exploiting her youth. Similarly, films like 13 and Lola presented young actresses in increasingly provocative scenarios. While these narratives aimed to reflect harsh realities, they also exposed the actors to scrutiny, often resulting in lasting reputations that followed them into adulthood. The portrayal of complex characters in challenging narratives sheds light on the duality of childhood innocence, juxtaposed against the industry's commercial interests. The roles intended to be cautionary tales can sometimes backfire, as they transform young stars into icons of a problematic narrative, where their identities are distorted by societal expectations. This phenomenon raises crucial questions about the responsibilities of filmmakers and the impact these roles have on the mental health and public perceptions of child actors. As we reflect on these iconic roles, it becomes clear that the artifacts of innocence, through art, often become the very chains that bind real children to adult expectations, underscoring a systemic issue within the entertainment industry. From cautionary tales to reality check, child stardom often fantasizes about the glitz and glamour of fame, but beneath the surface lies a deeper reality, one fraught with danger and vulnerability. Actors like Evan Rachel Wood and Nikki Reed have shown us just how dark this journey can be. Their stories serve as reminders, illustrating the exploitative tendencies of the industry and shedding light on the intense pressures placed upon young performers. When we examine the representation of child actors in films like 13 and Lolita, it becomes clear that these portrayals frequently blur the lines between innocence and exploitation. These cautionary tales are not just fictional narratives, they reflect real-world experiences that young actors face daily. The pursuit of fame can lead to toxic environments, where children are often encouraged to adopt adult personas, sacrificing their childhood for the sake of a role or a paycheck. This unsettling reality presents a critical predicament for society, forcing us to confront our complicity in perpetuating such harmful narratives. It raises essential questions about the role of filmmakers, producers, and the media in shaping these stories. Are we merely spectators? Or are we responsible for the narratives we consume? As we reflect on these cautionary tales, we must recognize the implications for real lives and the emotional toll that such experiences can take. Both Wood and Reed have courageously spoken out about their past traumas, reminding us that while these cautionary tales may entertain, they also serve as urgent calls to action for change. urging us to reconsider the industry's treatment of its youngest stars. From cautionary tales to reality checks, we must challenge our perceptions and hold those in power accountable. In conclusion, child stardom in Hollywood may glitter on the surface, but beneath it lies a world fraught with challenges and moral complexities. As we've seen, the tales of young talents like Evan Rachel Wood and Nikki Reed are not just about personal struggle. They reflect a broader conversation about societal responsibility and the treatment of women in film. This exploration compels us, as an audience, to critically examine the narratives presented to us, acknowledging the fine line between entertainment and exploitation. Often, these films portray the harrowing realities, the pain and confusion experienced by young stars, invoking empathy, yet they simultaneously risk romanticizing these very same struggles. Such duality in storytelling raises crucial questions. How do we define innocence? Who is truly responsible for protecting child actors? As viewers, we must remain vigilant, fostering awareness of the implications these stories carry. It is essential to advocate for better protections and ethical standards within the industry, ensuring that the sanctity of childhood is preserved, rather than commodified. Moreover, we must listen to the voices of these actors, understanding their journeys, their pain, and their triumphs, and ultimately work towards creating a safer, more respectful environment in Hollywood. The reflections on past and present experiences of young stars serve as reminders, challenging us to hold the industry accountable and to shape a future where young actors can thrive without the burdens of undue pressure and exploitation.